by in Port Elizabeth, Lerato Thipa, and we cross over to her right now. A very good morning to you again, Lerato. What's happening right now? I see it's a hive of activity behind you.
Well, a very good morning. We're broadcasting live from Bethelsdorp High School in the northern areas. If you remember last year, the northern areas was one of the most challenged areas in Port Elizabeth. Parents took to the street protesting against overcrowding in classes, teacher shortage, and also the late delivery of textbooks. And we are here later, and we want here to find out if anything has changed. Give you a brief background about this specific school. In 2016 and before then, this school had no textbooks for 4 years, up until the education from in the northern areas took the matter to the High Court, and only then, after 4 years, was this specific school given textbooks. When we arrived here, it's sad to see that 20 years after democracy, there are still pupils who are having assembly sitting on grass. So you ask yourself that after so many years, has anything changed? And after a year of protest, has anything actually changed in the northern areas? But give us some more about this area is Richard Draai, who's the secretary of the Northern Areas Education Forum. Told us that after a year of protest of schools potentially shutting down, has anything changed in this area? Richard, we are here a year later. It feels like I talked to you a year later ago, the same issue. A year later, after students took the street protesting, shutting down schools to some extent, has anything changed in the northern areas?
Good morning, Lerato. Good morning, viewers. Things have changed. If you look at this school right now, they received a new fence, and this school is going to be rebuilt. So there were some positive steps. Positive things that happen with our schools in the northern areas. It's probably the first time in years that we saw so many bulletins coming out to address the shortages of principals, deputies, HODs, post-level ones, and also non-teaching staff. So a lot of positive things happen. But if we look back, part of the whole package is to look at how to make the school safe. The fencing is one of them. There's still schools who's waiting for fencing. It's part of the whole package. But if you look at the core function of our schooling system is what happens in the classroom. And that's where the problem lies.
Richard, we were speaking to a principal from Arcadia High School, and is telling us they spent the entire 2016 with 8 vacancies that still have not been filled. So teacher shortage is still an issue. What do you think is a solution to this problem?
We really need to look at this whole system, how the PPN is being addressed. Everybody is saying the Peter Mokkel model doesn't work for us. We need to look at that. We need to look at the curriculum, which is also a major problem. We need to look at what can we offer our children. But the bottom line is that the appointing of teachers, the allocation of teachers need to be looked at from a viewpoint of not that how many funds determine how many teachers there should be. So that is a big problem we sit with, because so many funds can only allocate so many teachers. Linked to that is, if there's not enough funds, we won't cater for the special education needs children. That's the other problem. And linked to the funds as well, we haven't got the support staff to run the schools. So how do they function? Arcadia High, Westville High. Westville is probably a salary of 42,000 a month. Astra had about 60,000 a month they pay for salaries, which is unacceptable. I just said to my colleagues this morning that I wonder how it would have been if all those issues had been resolved by the department, the teachers in place, the ratios are correct, the textbooks in place, the teachers being paid by the department, supporting staff is there. If all that had been in place, the programs we could have get involved with, reading, maths, science, all those issues we could have get involved with, beautifying our school self and see how it's done. But that is the issues we need to look at. We need to look at the environment. The morale is low. Our teachers want to leave, exit the system, and we need to change the environment so that we can conducive to quality education.
Well, that was Richard Draai, the secretary of the Northern Areas Education Forum, said a year later, a lot has changed. The school has got fencing, but more than anything else, we need to try and encourage teachers to go back into the classrooms and get the passion back into teaching. It's back to you in studio.